You are now listening to Just Another Year Chicago with your host, Nick Rohde. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to today's episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and today we're going to be covering the pregame of the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Before we begin, please remember to hit that subscribe button, comment on this video your thoughts on how the Hawks are doing this year, and remember to follow me on Twitter at ChicagoNick, no K, and let's get started. So, Hawks are coming off a shootout loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, which I know a loss doesn't sound great, at the beginning of things, but it was a shootout. It did end in a shootout, the Hawks getting a point, and it was against one of the better teams currently in the NHL. So, there's a lot to take away from this game. They did lose 4-3. It did go to a shootout, but there was great play, a great comeback by the Hawks late in the game. They really weren't in it. A lot of people were like, the Hawks are done, and they came back, forced overtime, and then forced a shootout. So that is key for any NHL team, especially a young one going against one of the league's better teams. The Hawks, again, have one of the youngest teams in the NHL currently right now. So that's a huge confidence boost for them to be like, hey, we can compete with these guys. We can compete with one of the NHL's best teams currently, and it all starts with a young foundation, obviously. There's been great goal play. There's been better defense than what we've seen in the last couple of years. And we've seen some really awesome offense. Patrick Kane obviously is the leader of the offense. A lot of guys are stepping up currently right now. And you have the older veterans showing the younger guys how to get it done. And, Patrick Kane was once in that position with Jonathan Toews when, Sopel and all these other old Blackhawks, not Dave Bolin, but, other older Blackhawks that were on that first 2010 Stanley Cup team. We're teaching the younger guys, okay, this is how you play in the NHL. And you go through some bad years, and then you have some absolutely dominant years. So the Hawks are on the right track, and they're learning how to win. And speaking of that, the Hawks are 3-1-4 in their last 8 games. So they're getting points. They've only missed opportunity on getting at least 1 point once. They've gotten, even though they didn't get the full 2 points out of, 4 of their games, they still got a point. And that's key in today's NHL. Points are how you get into the playoffs. It's obviously having more, win. If you have wins and losses only, you don't force overtime, you're not getting those extra points you can pick up. So really big for the Blackhawks to do that. They've been playing a lot better. They're a young culture. They're learning how to win, and that's what's key in order to become a great NHL team. So, great. I want to give a shout out to our goaltender, Kevin Lankinen from Finland. He is playing out of his mind right now. He's 25 years old, young goaltender. No one really knew much about him when he was coming over from Finland, and he has been playing absolutely insane. He's only giving up 2 goals a game. He has all 3 of the Hawks wins, and he has over a .93 save percentage. So that's extremely impressive in the NHL. The best you can get is a 1, which is 100%. So really great to see that. I really like the way that, the team is kind of like working around him. The Hawks have always been really good at building their goaltenders, through their own system. Scott Darling, Antti Niemi, Corey Crawford, Cristobal Huet. The Hawks have been very, very fortunate with goaltenders over the last decade, and I think that they definitely hit a diamond in the rough in regards to our current goaltender situation. So I would keep him in goal. There is an open goalie competition going on right now between most of the Blackhawks goalies, even in the our farm system, the Rockford Ice Hogs. But I think this kid's got it in the bag. He's playing out of his mind. I like him so far. Just has to keep it up. And if we can get at least another point or 2 points tonight against Carolina, he's got to show up and have another big game like he did last time. So one more thing that I want to hit on with the Blackhawks before talking about a little bit about Patrick Kane is the fact that their power play is top 10 in the league right now, which is very impressive compared to the Hawks have always struggled to have a power play. I felt like even during the Stanley Cup years, they've always struggled to be able to take advantage of 5-on-4, and that's something that can hurt any team. You obviously want to take advantage of any opportunity to get easy points, but the Hawks this year have been doing that, and that's something that's really impressive for us to see as fans. So moving on from that, just wanted to give a quick little shout out to the power play crew, doing a great job. Keep it up. Hopefully we continue to get a couple more points and go back up in the rankings. The Hawks were once number 4 I know that they are in the top 10 right now, but they were once number 4. So let's get back to that status. That's key for the Hawks to continue to stay hot and have a winning culture. Talking about Patrick Kane really fast, he is the leader of this team. You do have other guys like Brent Seabrook, Duncan Keith, and unfortunately right now we do not have Jonathan Toews. And Patrick Kane, during his young years was known as the partier. He was doing crazy things. He was just a man-child. Now he's still playing better than he did back then, in my opinion, considering, the talent that he has around him compared to what he had during the Stanley Cup years. And he's still ripping it up. So shout out to Patrick Kane, for, being the guy, once you were in all these young guys' shoes, being, a young buck and a super flashy, talented player. I think Patrick Kane is doing everything that he needs to do in order to help this team win, not even from just a scoring and assist standpoint, but just from a leading standpoint. So that's key as well. But the Hawks, again, they do take on the Carolina Hurricane again tonight at the United Center. The NHL is doing, double games at, the respected arena that the series is at. So the Hawks will play 2 games away, then they'll come back, or vice versa. They will play that team twice in a row, and that's what's happening tonight. So the Chicago Blackhawks are currently 3-4-4. Again, they are 3-1-4 in their last 8 games, which is obviously a turnaround. But they play the Carolina Hurricanes, who are now 6-1, one of the NHL's better teams, and who the Hawks almost beat last game. So in order for the Hawks to win tonight, get that power play going, have strong goaltending again, and once you get a lead or get a lead early, don't give it up. That's just what the Hawks have to do tonight. They have to get 2 points tonight. 1 point, again, is great, but 2 points is just way better, gives you that more of an advantage. So let's get after it. Let's get the W tonight at the UC, and let's go Hawks. Have a good night.